Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's race 5 of the Stock Car Sim Racing Association Dev Sports Cards Next Gen Series. We are at Talladega Super Speedway for the Hunterdon Anesthesia Associates 88, brought to you by Walt Lepicki. Good evening, everyone. I am Joshua King, and with me in the booth is Matt Drafty Beef Everard. Drafty, it's just about time to strap in for Super Speedway Racing here on Royalty Racing Network. I know we're both excited for this one. Tell us about this iconic raceway.
You know, I'm super excited. I love some super speedway racing, especially at the biggest, baddest, and fastest track in NASCAR. You know, this track is nestled in Lincoln, Alabama, built on an old World War II airfield. This legendary 2.66-mile oval is the longest track on the circuit, with high bank turns at a jaw-dropping 33 degrees. Since opening in 1969, it has been the home of speed, spectacle, and some of the most unpredictable racing in the sport. Talladega also holds the record for the fastest recorded speed in NASCAR history by none other than Bill Elliott. In 1987, he set a qualifying lap of 212.8 miles per hour. I got another fun fact for you, Josh. There was actually controversy for the inaugural race in 1969, where a few drivers boycotted the race due to safety concerns over the tire wear. Once you know it, though, NASCAR founder Bill Francis Sr. refused to cancel the race and just brought in replacement drivers instead.
Interesting, man. I mean, based off all that, I'm even more pumped than I was 2 minutes ago. So that's pretty awesome. Drafty, we saw Devin Bucchino got the win last week, his first of the season. Means we have 3 drivers locked in now after our first 4 races. As you know, as we both know, Talladega is a wild card right? You can put yourself in a position to win here and change your whole season around. This opportunity comes early in the season this time. What do you expect to see from these drivers this evening?
I tell you, if it's anything like the rest of the season, we're going to see some exciting racing from these drivers tonight. They've been good, clean all season long. I'm excited to see the action here. Who knows what kind of crazy spectacle they're going to pull off tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. This is a track unlike any other, and we expect it to be down to the wire to the very last lap. Let's get one of those drivers in here that could really use a good run here at Talladega, and that's going to be the 26th of Josh Mueller. Joshua, this is Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, yes, I do. How's it going?
Good, man. Appreciate you joining us. We wanted to pull you in, talk to you about the race this evening. You come into this evening 18th in points. Kind of a rocky start to the early season. We just mentioned how Talladega can change that all around, and you could really benefit from a win tonight. Lock yourself into playoffs, changes your whole season. What's the strategy coming into tonight?
Survival.
That's always a good one at Talladega. You got a big team down there at Tank Racing. What's kind of the game plan to put you guys in a position to win near the end? Are you planning anything special, or like you said, just hey, avoid the wrecks and try to be there near the end?
Yeah, I think that latter part is more accurate. We're obviously going to try to link up, especially towards the end, and then see if we can get a little game plan going. Sometimes these come down to a few mileage too, and as a group, we do really well at drafting tracks, but that few mileage hopefully it doesn't come into play tonight because we've been on the wrong end of those sometimes.
Yeah, as I just mentioned to my co-host here, Talladega is a wild card. Absolutely anything could happen, but it's definitely one of those tracks where every single driver comes in any given race knowing that they have a chance to win and expecting to win. One of your team partners sponsored this race, Hunterdon Anesthesia Associates 88. Anything you can tell us about that company or Walt Lepicki? I know he's out with the flu, not able to race this evening.
Yeah, Hunterdon Anesthesia and Associates, phenomenal company on the East Coast. We're blessed to have them with our team, both Walt and Mike, and Derek and Devin. We, like I said, we're proud to have them on the car. Hopefully we represent them well tonight, and a great bunch of guys to be around.
Right on, man. Well, anyone else you'd like to thank or shout out before we let you get back to practice?
Just a shout out to anybody that's watching. Hopefully we put on a good show for you, and hopefully it's not too chaotic. I will say these super speedways are not my forte. I'm more of a small track guy, so that's my bread and butter.
All right, man. Well, go survive and put yourself in a good position. Maybe we'll be talking to you after the race.
Yeah, sounds good. Hope so. Have a good one.
You as well. Once again, folks, that was the driver of the 26, Josh Mueller, who you see on your screen currently. Drafty, he mentioned it a couple times, surviving. I feel like that's such a common theme anytime we are at a super speedway, not only racing, but then in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, Talladega is just one of those tracks you're going so fast and you're so close together that any little mistake could potentially cause huge mayhem for you and everybody else on track.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, and in this series, there's no fast repair, so it's going to be interesting. We're just right at 5 minutes left of practice. Let's get the driver of the number 5, Sharn Hill, in here real quick for a brief interview. Sharn, there's Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right on, man. Thanks for joining us. We'll keep it quick. I know you're about to head into qualifying. Sharn, you come in here sitting 12th, right on that playoff cut line. You've had some good runs, but then also had some bad luck. We just mentioned it a moment ago with one of your competitors. Talladega, anyone has a chance to win. You come in with the expectation of putting yourself in a position to win. What's your strategy this evening to get yourself locked in?
My strategy is maximizing how many stage points I can get. This is going to be a random top 10 finishing order for both the stage and the race, and to be able to capitalize and get some points where guys that are around me may not. I think it's going to be really important, especially going into a race like next week or the week after, where we're going to Watkins Glen, which isn't my strong suit. I want to capitalize this week. Obviously, I want to win every race that I'm in, but to get as many points, maximum points in a plate race, and then go somewhere next week like Vegas, where I feel like I can win there too, could establish myself as a championship contender.
Right on, man. Well, quick and easy right there. Anyone you'd like to thank or shout out this evening before we let you go?
So last week I sponsored both races, but sponsored the payout for the Richmond race. And, Sentinel Fit's getting bigger and bigger. So everybody that watches these races and gives me feedback on the marketing aspect or the racing aspect and keeps up with what I'm doing with this, everybody knows who they are. But I'll list a couple out. Darius, Kelly, Teresa, JJ. I love y'all. Hope to make y'all proud as usual. And thank you for the opportunity to speak on that.
Of course, man. Anytime. Appreciate you joining us. Always a good one to talk to in interviews. Were you up there in the garage with the boys, or are you going back to your team?
I was talking to Devin, Ryan, and Josh about a couple things. I was kind of surprised to hear from y'all, but I'm glad to hear from y'all. But yeah.
Right in the middle of the conversation. My apologies. I'll throw you back up there then, sir.
Oh, good. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. All right. Once again, folks, that was the driver of the number 5, Sean Hill, looking to put a consistent run together. Drafty Mediocre Sim Racer in the chat says you're doing your homework, so good job there. Hello?
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry about that. I forgot I muted myself. Anyway, yes, I've been doing my homework. Another little fun track. Talladega is the home track of Ricky Bobby. That's right. The movie Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, was inspired by and set at this track. One of my all-time favorite movies.
100%. If you ain't first, you're last. We've heard that a few times, I think.
Definitely.
All right, Drafty, let's go ahead and take a quick look as these guys wrap up practice at the point standings. If you want to give us a brief rundown there of how things are looking.
All right, as you can see, as of right now, Devin Butchino, Jay Stinson, and Corey Bunch all in green, all locked into the playoffs. Now, if you focus at this orange section here, these are the guys on the hot seat. So that's your top 3 drivers there in orange. We got Lipicki, Young, and Hill, all positive in points above that cut line right now. But Justin Parham, Walt Lipicki, and Travis Burton are all negative just a few points. They are very close to being able to get into that cutoff there for the playoffs.
Absolutely, man. And we just talked to one of them. It's a tough break, though, for the sponsor of this race, Walt Lipicki, missing tonight, as I alluded to earlier, with the flu. And he could have used this one to come out here and improve his spot in the points. But nevertheless, looks like 20 drivers going to be registered for the grid tonight. A lot of them coming out here with hopes of getting the win and getting back on track for the early season. We're almost a third of the way through, though.
Yeah, we're getting over the first hump, I'd call it. And it's been so exciting so far, and there's still so much racing left in the season. I'm so excited for it all.
Me too. Good group of guys and a great bunch of racers. We just finished up qualifying here, folks, so we're getting ready to go. We just finished up practice here, so we're getting ready to go qualifying, and we'll bring you the action on the track as we see it. Looks like a couple guys making their way out on track. We'll also take the opportunity to look at their cars and announce some of the drivers for tonight's show.
We have Devin Zimmerman first out on track. Travis Bennett now out on track, as long as Travis Burton. Both Travises heading out, and Derek Catt heading out on track as well.
Quick shout out, Drafty, to the 39 of Derek Catt. First race in the series and Royalty Motorsports driver. So we finally got a couple charters ourselves in this one.
I mean, I know as a broadcaster you can't play favorites, but I am hoping the boys do good tonight.
Yeah, we want them to do good. We want everyone to do good. So Devin Zimmerman in the 36 coming around now just for his first green flag lap, I believe. So he is on the clock, Drafty.
Yes, sir. As you see his top speeds here, we got about 175 miles an hour in the corners. Now that is fast.
And that's without the draft. These guys will approach 200 in the draft. No doubt about that.
As we see flirting with 182 miles an hour down the straight, entering into the corner. I have to see, he's running up higher than what I normally would for a qualifying lap. I'll have to see, maybe he puts the effort in on the second one.
That's what I typically do at super speedways, Drafty. My first time lap, I'll run the top. I'll make sure the tires are good to go. And then what I expect to see from Zimmerman here, he'll hug the bottom as much as possible in lap 2. And there he goes right on cue all the way down to that yellow line.
See, I'm the opposite. I think I get a little faster on the cold tires, so I always hit that first lap hard, and then I use the second as a throwaway almost if I can't do it. But everyone's got their own style. There's so many different ways to qualify here at a super speedway.
That is fair. Whatever gets the job done. The 01 at Travis Bennett, our first one to go to the top of the board, 52.93. Was Bennett on his first lap, or second lap, rather. He's calling it quits. Travis Burton right behind him with a 52.94. Still on track.
As we see the 36 going down below the yellow there. I'm trying to see what kind of time he can do for the second time. Second lap puts him up to P3 with a 52.973. That's a pretty good lap from him. Let's see how Jay Stinson, who won the first race of the season. Fortunately, we were not a broadcaster at that time, but it was a super speedway. Can he pull off another win?
Interesting point there. We were not a part of that first broadcast. Chase Greer to the top of the board now on his second lap, 52.90. To take over the top spot. Travis Bennett, Travis Burton still follow in second and third.
Jay Stinson does not improve much on his time, stays at that 52.98. Derek Da Silva up to fourth with a 52.960.
It's like that was Da Silva's second lap. Here's the 81 of Josh Hall. Still not put in a time. Drafty still 8-9 guys yet to qualify here, so we could still see a lot of mix-up and shake-up at the top of the board.
Yeah, no, the 40 of Chase Grier is not safe yet. Still a lot of people to put in a lap, and there's still some good fast drivers out there that haven't put in a lap time.
Like the 81 of Josh Hall just went green for his first time lap. You see him there on your screen. Darrell Walden, first lap, 53.75, 10th quick currently. And Jorge Ledesma Jr. in the chat. Derek Catt rejoined Royalty. Yes, sir, he did. Oh, and now he just responds to you himself. Tina Miller, let's go D-Zim. Said that right when we're on the D-Zim, man, in the 36. So that was good timing, Drafty.
Yes, sir. We got Devin Butchino with his first lap time of a 53.5. So that'll be 11th quick right now. Fritz also put in a decent lap time, putting him up to P10 currently with a 53.0. We'll have to see what kind of time he can put for his second lap here.
Garrett Walden to second quick on lap number 2, 52.92. Good second lap from Walden.
Very fast indeed. See if anyone can touch him here. So a couple people on track. Still a couple people haven't gotten out on track yet. Maybe choosing not to qualify. Second lap for Fritz is going to be a 52.988. Good enough for 13th quick. Devin Butchino up to third with his second lap. 52.924. Sharn Hill goes up to 6th place with a 52.94. That was his first lap. We'll have to see if he improves on the second as he crosses the line right now. His second lap was slower.
Interesting. D. Wright to second quick now with a 52.92. Second quick for D. Wright.
Nice. It's good to see him up there. Let's take a look. Looks like Ryan Gomes is coming out on track as we speak in that 55 cat machine there.
Bucky Balance in the 41.52.95, 10th quick right now. Qualifying times at the super speedways, folks, very, very close all the way through the field.
I have to wonder what Ryan Gomes is up to. As you can see, his speed is only 120 miles an hour. Maybe trying to ensure that he starts at the back of the field there. Lipicki with his second lap, and Michael Lipicki, I should clarify, 52.931. That'll get him 6th position. The only one out on track right now is Gomes, who's now picked up the pace here. Now we see him cruising at race speed.
Must have been a qualifying trick there. We'll see what happens for the 55 of Gomes. Joe Irwin in the 44, the only guy not currently on track and yet to put in a time as soon as Gomes crosses the line, I'd assume.
Gomes' first lap, quite slow at a minute 0.2.
He's setting up for that big second lap.
Yeah, saved up all the anticipation.
Now, something we saw several of these guys do in qualifying here on the backstretch, different than Gomes. Gomes sitting that middle lane, Drafty, all the way through the backstretch. A lot of guys went all the way up to the wall.
Yeah, that's where I would be, honestly. So we'll have to see what kind of lap he's going to do here for his second lap as you see him coming out of turn 4 now and into the tri-oval. All right, second lap. It is a 52.939. That will give him 8th place.
So Ryan Gomes, good strategy, gets himself into the top 10 as far as the starting grid goes. They'll do their drivers meeting briefly, and we will bring you that starting grid as soon as we have it. Who's everyone going for tonight in the chat, folks? Want to hear from you guys. Who's your pick? Drafty, who you picking?
I'm going to go with, I'm rooting for Sharn Hill.
Okay.
That's who I'm going. He's been a solid racer. I've seen him do a lot of good racing over these past few weeks, and I think he deserves a win here.
There you go. All right. Well, right on cue, we do have your starting grid for this evening. Starting on pole in the number 40 machine, it's Chase Greer. To his outside, it's D Wright in the 84. Starting third in the 24 is Garrett Walden. Devin Buchno in the 68 will start fourth. Travis Bennett in the 01 will roll off fifth. Michael Lepicki in the 46 out of New Jersey will start sixth. Travis Burton in the 92 will start seventh. Ryan Gomes, who we just saw qualify last there, he'll start eighth in the 55. Sharn Hill, draftee's pick, will start ninth. And Josh Hall in the 81 will round out your top 10. Drafty.
All right, starting in 11th is going to be Charles Chucky Balance. To his outside, the number 26 of Josh Mueller. Moving right along, in 13th position is going to be Derek De Silva in the number 16. And then Devin Zimmerman in the number 36 to his outside in 14th place. 15th is going to be Joey Hickox in the number 31. To his outside is going to be the number 60 of Shane King. 17th place is going to be the number 2 of Jay Stinson. And to his outside, the number 29 in 18th, Matthew Fritz. 19th place is going to be the number 39 of Derek Cat. And rounding out the field, 20th position, the number 44 of Joe Irwin.
Very nice. An even 20-car field, 10 rows, folks, at Talladega Super Speedway. And we are getting ready to go green. We're looking forward to this one more than anyone, I think, Drafty.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. I got ants in my pants sitting here. I can't wait for that green flag to drop and watch these guys go.
Well, it's going to be sooner than later. Short parade lap here. They only do one at the super speedways, so we'll be going green in just a matter of seconds, and we'll let Mr. Drafty Beef bring us to the green flag.
There's the lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car. Just taunting us here. 2 more turns to go. Coming into 3 now.
Yeah, Jorge Ledesma Jr.'s pick, Shane King in the number 60. Tina Miller. Zimmerman, Devin Zimmerman is Tina Miller's pick in the 36. So we'll keep a close eye on him as well. Thank you, Tina, for tuning in. Thanks to everyone for tuning in.
It's going to be a good one tonight. Pace car is now going to be coming out of 4 in the trial, but we can hop up with Barney, see how Barney's doing. Oh, I guess it doesn't have a Barney cam. It's a little... Oh, there we go. I had the wrong one. My bad. Blame the camera guy. All right, Barney's ready. He's waiting. He's already got that green flag out. He's just as excited as we are, folks. Pace car is now in pit lane. You can see him coming to the restart zone. And the green flag is out, and we are live at Talladega. All right, they are coming to the line to complete the first lap here for the Hunterdon Anesthesia Associates 88 at Talladega. The 24 of Garrett Walden gets up to the lead here. The 40 of Chase Greer all the way back to 6th place currently.
Yeah, that's right. That bottom line did get out to a big lead, but as you see now on the backstretch, the outside lane beginning to close as there's a little bit of separation between those bottom 4 cars and the 5 of Sharn Hill behind them.
Yeah, a little bit, but they'll make that up in no time for sure. And even behind him, once those cars tighten up a little bit. But you know, right now, beginning of the race, I might be playing a little conservative right now. I know I would. I'd just be playing follow the leader. You know, our first stage isn't until lap 35. Our only stage, I should say. Not till lap 35, so no real need to battle yet, as they are 3 wide now with the 5, the 40, and the 36. Oh, hard contact.
Someone's into the wall.
That looked like Mueller was involved there.
It did indeed.
Let's go back and look at that one here. Fortunately, it did not pop up in the event, so do this the old-fashioned way and rewind. Let's take a look at it. Looks like he goes up high a little. Gets a little loose almost. Might got a little arrow loose. A couple people smacked the wall. The 60 of Shane King, a little contact on the wall there. Gonna be some damage for Mueller and Zimmerman, I have to imagine. They'll have to come get that repaired. 60 of Shane King, it didn't look too bad, but I guess we'll have to see.
Well, the fortunate thing here, Drafty, is such a large track for these guys to be able to pull it in quick, get some damage repaired, and hopefully get back out there. Obviously, lap 4, plenty of time to get a lucky dog, work your way back. Got to just stay patient, right?
Yeah, that is the key. Super speedways, I feel. You don't need to make any crazy moves till the end of the race. There's so much race here, 88 laps. A lot to go. But these guys, you know, they're going to be racing hard. That's what these guys do. Sometimes they make a couple mistakes here and there, and it's just, like I said at the beginning, super speedways, you're going so fast, you're so close together, any tiny little mistake, and boom, you're up in the wall. Something like what we just saw, you know?
It doesn't take much, as we did see that car get awfully loose, which was abnormal, I would say, without being bumped or anything like that. But we'll see how that plays out later into the evening. Or, hey, no fast repairs in this series, but I think every driver will recover just fine from that. We will see. Amore in the chat says, let's go 41. 41, of course, is Chucky Balance. He made it through that.
Speaking of people that made it through, but there's still a lot of people pitting here under this caution that were not wrapped up in that at all. Jay Stinson, Matthew Fritz, Joe Irwin, Joey Hickox, and Shane King, I guess, was involved in that. So maybe he's getting some repairs done. But a few drivers that were not wrapped up in that choosing to come down pit lane here.
Yeah, maybe, Drafty, that's like a strategy play for, of course, fuel, right? Not tires 4 laps into the thing. But they got about 27, 28 laps of fuel. By math, that would make this a 3-stop race. Couple cautions, you pit early like this. Maybe you get lucky and you only have to stop twice, right?
Yeah, that or they're pitting so they don't have to before the stage break in hopes of getting some stage points here as well.
Yeah, that's a great point. Our stage is 7 laps after that expected fuel window that I just mentioned, right? 35 is the stage break this evening.
Yes, sir. So with we're about 5 laps in, that extra 5 laps of fuel, you got a couple laps of pacing here yet. You can, if you got buttons set up for it, you can coast your car, you can clutch it, turn it off. There's a bunch of things you can do to save some fuel here under caution and possibly have enough to make it to the end of the stage. Get yourself some stage points.
Yeah, as much as these drivers don't like to see cautions, I'm assuming these guys, at least sitting in the top 10, were at least a little bit relieved, maybe get that fuel window slightly closer to not having to pit for that stage, because it will be interesting if they do have to.
Yes, sir. I know a lot of people, that especially that we brought up in our point sheet before, they're right on that bubble, so some stage points could really, really, really help.
They certainly could. It goes a long way. Every point matters. Good news for those of you at home. The 31 of Joey Hickox is back out on track off pit road, as is the 60 of Shane King, also off pit road. That's good. Drafty early in the race. We don't want to be losing drivers already.
Yeah, some long pit stop I see for the number 60 of Shane King. His total time in pit, 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Unfortunate. Still on the lead lap, though, it looks like.
Everyone did make it off in time to stay on the lead lap, so that's good. 20 cars still on the lead lap. Lights on the pace car are off, which means one thing: we're going to go green this next time by.
I always say it, but I dread cautions at super speedways. It takes so long to get back around, but just part of it, part of the deal.
That's right. They are long and dragged out. We took this caution, I believe, on lap 3. We're now approaching the green flag, what's going to be working lap 7. So it was a process.
A lot of racing here left at the Hunterdon Anesthesia Associates 88 here at Talladega. Going into turn 3 here momentarily. It will be time for that Barney to do what he does best. Let's wave them flags. Pace cars now dipping down into pit lane. We'll hop up here with Barney. He's anticipating. He's ready. He's going to give it the best green flag wave he's ever given you, folks. We see the cars approaching the restart zone. And we are green flag once again here at Talladega. Turn it up, folks, as they fly by. A lot of jostling here. They're a bit spread out as we're coming to the line. The 24 of Garrett Walden back up to the lead here on that outside line, making it work for him.
They've basically switched spots this time, right? The 84 is on the bottom side, the 24 is on the top side. The 24, though, still has a lead right now as they, get out, hold on to it.
Oh, wasn't quite able to hold on to it. Wasn't quite clear, I don't think. Now he's going to have to rejoin at the tail of the field. Hopefully he can catch some draft, but unfortunate there.
Good news is he saved it. Bad news is he didn't get back in line in time to catch that draft. He's going to be hoping for a quick caution now here shortly.
Yes, sir. As we say, oh my goodness. Oh, they're wrecking behind. No caution yet. We're staying green. We just saw a bunch of cars go off the track. Apparently the iRacing stewards did not think that was enough to throw a yellow flag.
All sorts of craziness early on. We're not even 10 laps into this thing, and we got a pack of 5 cars leading the way. Next closest, it would appear, is about 2 seconds back, and that's the 84 of Wright.
Yeah, he was up front on that lower line, and now he's trying to catch back up to the draft. Jay Stinson spread out. Here we go. We got a little group here. hopefully they can team up with the guys in front, catch back up to that main pack, as right now the 5 of Sharn Hill looking to the outside to make a run all by himself, though. I have to imagine that he'll probably have to slot back in at the end of that train when it gets past him. But, you know, right before all that action happened, I was about to comment on the serpentine effect going on and how dangerous that can be, and I didn't even get to bring it up, and they collected each other, unfortunately.
Well, Drafty, you just thinking it did the old broadcaster curse on him. You didn't even have to speak it into existence this time.
Yeah.
But plenty of cars still left in the race that are going to be healthy, if you will. However, this definitely mixes things up, not only with an expected pit stop prior to the stage, but now that stage coming up sooner than later.
Yeah, especially these guys back here trying to get in a line and make it work. Catch back up. Let's see here. The front guy of this pack is Zimmerman, and he's about 6.5 seconds off the 5 of Sharn Hill. So big gap, and that's a five car pack up front. So they're going to have to work hard to make up ground.
They certainly are, and if that second pack of 5 gets straight and organized, they could do it, especially with the 24 there blinking slightly. However, I think they need another car or two to bunch up with them, that second pack, I mean, and then they'll definitely catch these guys.
Yeah, sir. Let's see here. So Butcher Nose at the back. Next closest here, we got our third group. Matthew Fritz, Ryan Gomes, Josh Mueller, Travis Burton, Joey Hickox, Travis. Oh, nope. And ends with Joey Hickox there. A little five-man pack. Sorry, I can count. Then even further back, we got, let's see here, Travis Bennett and Shane King working together, trying to stay in it. Josh Hall out on his lonesome, along with Derek Da Silva.
Derek Da Silva, last guy on the speedway. Chase Greer, unfortunately, has pulled it into pit lane, hoping to probably get back out, but he'll be several laps down. Drafty, crazy now how we saw this play out so early, but 3 groups of 5 cars now.
Yes, there are a lot to try and keep track of now as they're spread out here. Well, lap 13, so still a few laps to go before the next stage. You know, these leaders right here, they don't want anyone else catching up, that's for sure. Looking at here, it looks like still about a 6.5 second gap between the first 2 groups here. Now, though, we can see the second group catching, or the third group catching the second group here. And once these guys link up, I think they will be able to catch those main guys for sure.
100%. I think that's exactly what they needed. I mentioned it before. Not only did they get 1 or 2 more cars, they got 5. And you can already tell they're organized because they're all right in a straight line, single file. They know what the mission is.
Yes, sir. The less they can serpentine, the straighter they can keep it, the faster they're gonna go, the more they'll catch up. We'll have to see. Watch this interval here. You can see it on your timing tower. Currently at the right is currently 7 seconds off the leader, but 6.4 off of Sharn Hill. So pretty good judgment. Watch that and see how much that they start gaining on them.
And they are gaining pretty quick. 1/4 of a second just dropped off the time from Sharn Hill to Wright. Now nearly down to 6.5 seconds. And like I say, if they can keep it straight, they're going to get back there fairly quick.
Yes, sir. As we have most of the field is here in this second group now. We see them, though. They are getting a little squirrely. They need to tighten that up if they want to keep gaining on the pack and keep doing it quickly.
They certainly do, and all the teams mixed in and mixed up right now. This is reminiscent, though, of what you would see, folks, after a green flag pit stop cycle at Talladega, not after a lap 9 wreck.
Right, wreck with no caution, unfortunately, there. I mean, these guys are making up sometimes, hanging around that 6-second mark now. From D. Wright to Sharn Hill. Check back up with our leaders here. The 40 of Greyer's back out on track. Unfortunately, 2 laps down, but he'll tuck in with these guys and just ride along. That adds another car to their pack. Whether that is going to be helpful or hurtful, we shall see. As they're actually pulling away from the second pack now, the time gap is now up to 6.3.
Yeah, it had a moment there, Drafty, where it was going down fairly quickly, but now that front group may be a little bit more organized, and now they've expanded it to over 7 seconds again on the 84 right.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about being able to lock in and get as close as you can to the guy in front of you without bumping him too hard or knocking him out of line and staying straight.
Really, really interesting that we haven't seen this much larger group here make up more ground, as now looks like the 36. Oh, Derek Cat let him back in. Okay, that could have been bad news for the 36, as he would have filed all the way to the back of that line.
Yeah, that could have been bad. Looks like he just got a little out too far on that corner. He's able to tuck back in. Cat gave him the room. He knows it's early enough in this race that no need to keep him out, hang him out to dry.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Drafty. Let's remind everyone watching at home, this race is definitely going to tighten up again. And it's going to be the dramatic finish that we all hope for at Talladega. Why? We have a stage, lap 35. There's going to be a yellow flag stage break, and it's going to bring everyone closer together. The other thing, 8 of these drivers have already pit. The highest of them, Joe Irwin, he's in the 44. He pit on lap 4. We saw it. They're all spread out, Drafty. How crazy is that? Everyone that pit is throughout this field.
Yeah, it is wild. But, a wreck like that to happen and a caution not to come out is a huge shakeup. Something that you're only ever going to see in iRacing. But yeah, huge shakeup. We'll have to see. Like you said, we do have a stage coming up, so they will get all bunched back together. Then there's no more stage after that, so hopefully this doesn't happen again. And if there are any wrecks, a caution does come out for everybody.
Yeah, that's right. And I have to believe the reason there wasn't a caution there is probably because everything rolled to the inside, the infield. So none of the issue was spread out on the track, which is probably why iRacing determined, hey, no caution here.
Yeah, unfortunately, that must be the case.
They approach lap traffic now. That is, I believe, the 81 of Josh Hall, who just went a lap down. Now 3 cars a lap down. Chase Greer did make his way back out onto the speedway.
Yep, he is out here running 2 laps down, unfortunately, but anything can happen at these speedways. If the lucky dog candidate, enough cautions happen, you can get it back. But now this first pack has extended its lead over the second pack by, as we see some people come into pit here.
Green flag pit stops on lap 21, Drafty.
Yep. Let's see here. All right, we got Devin Butchino, Devin Zimmerman, Ryan Gomes, Josh Mueller, all deciding to come to pit here.
Right, also a part of that group in the 84. Let's see what this top group does here.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine that they're gonna pit soon, follow suit. Or maybe they've been doing something different than those guys. About to see what strategy is going to come out on top. You know, with this, being before a stage, they may try to milk it longer and think more of the long run race instead of racing for a stage. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that might have been a play to maybe flip that stage, if you will. Pit on lap 21. Hope that all of these guys have to pit, and then those guys that were in that second group, maybe just outside of stage points, can sneak up there and at least get a couple stage points.
All right, now our biggest mover of the night, 44, Joe Irwin, started last place, currently running fourth in with this main group here.
And something really good for the 44, Joe Irwin, I just mentioned him. He's your highest car right now, folks, that pit on lap 4 on that first caution. So he sits fourth, he pitted on lap 4. He should, in theory, with the caution, have enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage, I believe.
We shall see. We'll see another little group of cars coming off a pit. Oh, that wasn't the right one. Pit lane here. Here's another group. This is a group yet that has not pit. That original second group now led by the 39 of Derek Catt. About almost 12 seconds behind the first group now. So they have been going the wrong direction as far as catching up with the main group.
I think what definitely played a part in that is those 5 cars that split off from them to go down pit road a few laps ago.
That most definitely. A little bit smaller pack. They're not right on each other's bumper either here. As we see, a nice gap between the first car and second car in this pack.
You have to believe right now all the drivers discussing where they're at on fuel, if they can make it to the end of the stage or if they have to pit prior. I know we're still a mere 10 laps away from the stage, but that fuel window is closing right now, Drafty. If we figure in the caution, they'd have to pit, I'd assume, by lap 30 if they haven't saved enough, wouldn't you think?
I would think so, yeah. It'd be about a few laps shy if they didn't save enough.
Gonna be interesting, and this is definitely not what we expected to play out in the first 25 laps of this showdown here at Talladega, but nevertheless still exciting, folks, and a lot more exciting racing to come yet.
That's it. Now we look at this lead pack. They're not too far from... Oh, Christ, I just had it. My bad. There's this pack right here, and they are not far off. Oh, as we have some leaders now coming down pit lane. The 5 of Sharon Hill, 25, Garrett Walden, the 41 of Charles Chucky Balance, and the 46 of Michael Lepicki coming to pit. Left the 44 of Joe Irwin all by himself. No one helping Irwin right now. That's going to shake some things up as now Derek Catt will gain the second position. Still about 17 seconds behind the leader, though.
He certainly is, and folks, this is going to have to, something's got to give here, Drafty, because Derek Catt now and the 92 of Travis Burton, only 2 cars on the lead lap that haven't been down pit road now. The other top 4 that you see in your top 6 currently were down pit road on lap 4. So this could not pan out very well for the 39 of Catt and the 92 of Burton if they don't make a choice soon to get down pit road.
Yeah, you have to mention, though, they're going to have to pit with the group that they're in. You don't want to be pitting by yourself or only with 2 cars. It's not going to be good. You got to, hopefully they can make it to when the rest of these guys pit as well.
Got to believe that they're probably trying to figure out something right now because they do not want to be left alone, as you said, Drafty. And despite being paired up with Stinson and Fritz, Irwin still gaining.
Yeah, he was able to catch the draft here. The few cars here, we got D. Wright, Grier, and it looks like the 81 of Hall here. These are all lap down cars. So he's using these guys to get around the track, and I'm sure he is not complaining one bit to have them there, as he was left out to dry leading the group that he was leading.
Yeah, that's right. Lucky break for the 44 of Joe Irwin that you see on your screen there. Fourth in line, but first in the race so far. He was in danger of losing a lot of time very quickly to those guys that still remained on the racetrack.
Derek Cat in second place, not able to make up any ground at all. It's actually the opposite direction, now 24 seconds behind our leader, Joe Irwin. You know, I think if any of these drivers are hoping for a caution, I think that wishing well is dried up.
Yeah, now that it's even more spread out, the biggest thing I could see happening at this moment is if they go down pit road and have an incident that would bring out a caution, something along those lines. But if they're organized like they have been so far through the pit cycle, I don't expect a caution until that stage break.
Yeah, I don't expect to see one till then. Now with how spread out they are, the most we got in the pack is about, what, 6-7 cars here? Maybe 8. As we look at now, the 5 of Sharon Hill, he was up towards the front, you know, in that first group, that pit. Or second group, sorry. We're currently back up to 7th.
Sharon Hill is sitting 7th. Joey Hickok's 4th. Travis Burton 5th. And now Travis Burton, just as I say that, and the 39 of Derek Cat, both down pit road just now, all by themselves, but that had to be organized, I'd assume, so they're not just completely left alone.
Yeah, even with 2 cars, we're probably not going to do much, but with the stage right around the corner, it's a safe bet to pit now.
Nothing left on the line for those two. I mean, they gave it everything they had, and if they would have caught a caution, it would have worked out perfectly, I'd assume. Now all the way to 13th place, Josh Mueller is a lap down. That's the last thing that the 60 of Shane King wanted to see, is he was the lucky dog candidate up until Mueller got past just a moment ago.
Yeah, Shane's not going to be too happy about that. Mueller, though, probably not happy about becoming a lap down, but able to get with this pack here and probably hold on to being the first car lap down and at least get that lap back right away.
Anything can happen, and once we have this stage caution, as you always say, Drafty, cautions breed cautions. So far from over yet, as we're 32 of 88 here at Talladega, but this group of 5 certainly rolling along.
So our leader, Joe Irwin, packed around lap cars, just riding, looking to get to the stage here. Now he is one of the people who have not pit since that first caution, so I have to imagine, since he is hanging back here, that he's trying to save as much gas as he can and maybe not be on, you know, full throttle, hang back a little bit, and hopefully get himself a stage win.
I mean, right now he couldn't be happier, Drafty. He's not leading the line, but he's also being pushed, so he's able to just kind of stay in line behind these lap guys, make sure he doesn't get himself wrapped up in something crazy, but also be pushed and stay along with them without using too much fuel.
Exactly. He's in a cush spot right now to just ride out to the stage break. As our
Shane
second,
King,
sorry,
go ahead.
I was gonna say our second place driver is 41 seconds off the leader. I do not think that he will catch him here in the next 2 laps before the stage.
I don't either, Drafty, but Jay Stinson, who is sitting second place despite the 42-second gap there, as now he falls down the tower. I apologize. I was going to say he was up 16 spots. Now all of a sudden he's back in 9th due to these guys getting all mixed up and caught up to each other.
Yeah, this pack caught the other pack, had way more speed, blew right by him there. Is now we got about one lap to go before the end of the stage, with Joe Irwin out to 42 second lead over second. Safe to say he will be our stage winner.
He definitely will. It would appear like Sharn Hill sits second right now. Michael Lepicki is third. Garrett Walden fourth. Devin Buchino rounds out your top 5. However, those 5, along with 3 others, all close together, so anything could happen. Let's take a look here at that pack with Buchino in it, Ryan Gomes as well. There we go, as we see him on screen there. And Sharn Hill still leading the way. Blocked by a lap car. That didn't work out well for him, as now Buchino goes 3 wide.
They're fighting for some stage points here at the end in this group. 3 wide across. Buchino will get 3rd place for the stage, looks like.
Holy smokes, man. That was an interesting finish there to the stage, as we saw the 5 Sharn Hill go from 2nd place all the way to 6th, where he was scored at the end of the stage. Drafty, give us the full top 10 stage point rundown, if you will.
All right, Joe Irwin with the commanding lead at the end of the stage will get the stage win. Second, Michael Lepicki in the 46. Devin Buchino in the 68. Ryan Gomez in the 55 that gets 4th. And rounding out your top 5 finishers of the stage will be the 24 of Garrett Walden. Sharn Hill coming in 6th in that number 5 machine. And number 36, Devin Zimmerman getting some stage points, coming in 7th. 8th place, Charles Chucky Balance in the 41. In the 84 is going to be D. Wright coming in 9th. And rounding out the top 10 finishers for the stage will be the number 2 of Jay Stinson.
Right on. Well, definitely an interesting first 35, to say the least. We're going to step away for just a moment and hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to Talladega Super Speedway. We are working the stage break. We gave you a rundown of how that stage ended with your top 10. They're out of pit lane now, and we saw every single driver pit on either lap 36 or 37. So, rundown there, your leader will still be the 44 of Joe Irwin. Michael Lepicki will start second in the 46. Ryan Gomes will start third in the 55. Garrett Walden will roll off fourth in the 24. Devin Buchno will round out your top five after the pit stops. Devin Zimmerman, Sharn Hill, Chucky Balance, Jay Stinson, Josh Mueller round out your top 10. All the way back to 13th, it would appear, are a lap down, so I definitely am betting they will need some cautions and hope for some more cautions. What do you think, Drafty? He's been down there a few times. Has Joey Hickox. He's been in pit road several times. Little issue there with the audio, but we got that fixed quickly. Lights on the iRacing.com pace car are out, which means we're about to go green, and we'll let Drafty take us back to it.
Yep, still got to go down the backstretch yet, unfortunately, with these long pace laps. Or are we in 3 now? Whoops, I was not paying attention. I'm trying to fix all these issues, my bad. The lights are off. The pace car will be dipping down into pit lane. And we'll hop on board with Barney as he gets ready to take us green flag racing once again. Reminder, tonight's sponsor is the Hunterdon Anesthesia Association 88, sponsoring tonight's race. As we are green flag racing once again, Joe Irwin leading the pack to start the second part of this race. And here they are again, as we actually saw the 44 of Joe Irwin back to the back of the field there. Lots of tossing and jumping as they're all back together. The 40...
Interesting move there.
Yeah. I wonder if he maybe got a jump to start or black flag, but 46 and Michael Lepicki will be our leader for that first lap back under green.
We will see what happens with Joe Irwin, but Garrett Walden sits second now. We saw some brief 3-wide action as now the 39 of Derek Catt. He is a lap down, folks, but trying his hardest to stay the first guy a lap down or even get his lap back the old school way, much like a lot of these guys.
Yeah, he's definitely wanting to be that first car a lap down, get his lap back here after a crazy first part of this race. I'm assuming he's under the impression that there will be a caution now that everyone's hooked back up together. We have to wait and see.
Certainly will. They're all double file now, halfway through the field or so. No 3-wide action right now. Jay Stinson, though, after the pit stop, he's in the number 2 car. He's up 13 spots. He's your biggest mover right now in the turquoise and black number 2. And Drafty, you alluded to it in the pre-race show. He got the win at the first super speedway. He's got himself in a good position right now at the second one.
He sure does. He's in a good spot. This is where I'd want to be coming to the end of the race for sure. Let's see if he can hold on to it here for another, another 45 laps.
Yeah, we're actually approaching exactly halfway. This next time by will be lap 44 completed. So literally 50% of the way through at this race here. And right now, there's a guy out front that is a lap down, and he's going to be fighting and clawing to stay up there. And that's the 40 of Chase Greer.
Chase Greer, along with the 01 of Travis Bennett here, who's also a lap down. Well, not currently, because he's ahead of everybody. He's currently on the lead lap, but in 14th position. So he's going to be battling with the 40 on the outside. Both quote-unquote lead cars of this pack are a lap down and battling for the lucky dog with the actual leaders behind them.
They certainly are. Now, if they stay in front of the leaders, they'll be good, and that would give the current lucky dog to Joey Hickox, I believe. No, I'm sorry. It would be Derek Catt if Greer and Hall continue to stay out in front, which now we see Lepicki pressuring.
Yeah, right on in there, getting some speed. Might be looking to the outside of him now. Where's the 24 going to go? The 24 is going to stay behind the 01.
Drafty, that outside lane absolutely died off in a hurry as now they battle back with the 40 still leading the way. That was bizarre to see them drop 4 or 5 car lengths so quickly.
Yeah, it was, and that big group jumped up into that third lane there. Kind of left the 46 out to dry as he tucks back in down on the inside now. Grier's still leading on that outside lane, but about 6-7 cars back from the leader. To see if anyone up front decides to pop out and take control of that outside lane or not.
They're definitely a lot more patient and easygoing this time around, less aggressive for sure, as opposed to that first 35 laps, or at least the first 10, right? Before we saw the incident that spread them all apart.
Yes, they have been a lot more steady here too since this restart here. I'm seeing a lot straighter lines, not so many people weaving in and out. So we now see the 36 of Zimmerman did jump out to lead that outside lane, looking to get him up to the top.
Devin Zimmerman up 11 spots now, tied for your biggest mover, fighting back and forth for it with the 2 of Jay Stinson. You guys on the stream at home will be happy to see that, rooting for the 36 of Zimmerman as he moves into second place now.
So the 55 of Ryan Gomans here is actually your second place car. The 81 is not on the lead lap.
Either is the 01, which is, well, Travis Bennett currently is on the lead lap, but anytime he gets passed by one of the guys behind him, he will not be. We'll try to keep this all sorted and making sense for you guys at home, but hard to keep track of at times on the timing tower and the information we have as well. When a lapped car jumps out in front of the leaders, gets himself back on the lead lap the old school way.
See that outside line not really making much headway here. Inside line still the dominant faster line.
Well, a lot more cars on that inside lane for sure, as now we see maybe some side draft attempt there from the 36 of Zimmerman, maybe realizing that he didn't have a lot of cars behind him to be able to draft, as now we see him take an opportunity to go to that low line.
Yes, sir, which leaves the 40 once again leading that outside line with only about 3-4 cars actually in the pack. Big old freight train down there on that inside line as they're just riding out as, lap 49. Still a lot of laps left in this race, so no need to do anything crazy and risk being out of the race completely. So might see this for a few laps before we start seeing some hot and heavy action.
100%. We're starting to see that bottom line shake out pretty well now. Drafty super speedways, you've been in a lot of these races, as have I. What is your preferred line or spot, if you will, at this point in a race?
Third car back on the inside line, and I'm glued to the yellow. I just want to ride right there. You're far enough ahead where you should hopefully not have to deal with any wreck avoidance, but then you're also not in the lead and having everyone beating on your bumper trying to get past you.
What would you say is the more comfortable place to be in a big group like this drafting? Would you be more comfortable on the bottom side or the top side?
Oh, bottom side all day long. The only time I like that outside line is when I'm coming out of 4 trying to get the win. You know, wrecks here with this extreme banking, if a wreck happens in the corner, it's going up. And if you're on that outside line, more risk at being an innocent victim.
Yeah, for sure. And for that reason and that reason alone, it's definitely better and more comfortable for me, and I would say most would agree, to be on the bottom side as well. One thing down there that can happen sometimes on the bottom, if you're, say, the 24 in this instance, or even one car back from him, Matthew Fritz, Chucky Balance, one of those guys, it has a tendency at times to feel boxed in, right? You have nowhere to go for so long, such long periods of time, right?
Yeah, but I kind of like that, you know? Like, I definitely go into these knowing it's a long race and you can't win it till the end. So if I can find a nice, safe spot to call my home for the entirety of the race until it gets down to the last 3 or 4 laps, I'm okay with that.
Fair enough. Some good insight from Drafty Beef himself. Now, while we were discussing that, the 2 of Jay Stinson has moved to the outside lane, and he did lead that last lap.
And so as we see the 40 dip down in front of the 01 to be the first, hit in front of him for the, the 13th position. Sorry, it's so weird to have to look at the front of the field and at the back of the stats.
Yeah, it definitely is a weird illusion, I would say. He appears to be leading the race to us, to you guys there watching from home, and yet he's not. But he is back on the lead lap for the time being, and Jay Stinson will be second place this last time. Garrett Walden in the 24 being scored as your leader that last time around.
That is the battle happening right behind what looks like first and second. Nope, that's the battle right there. The number 24 and the number 2. These guys back and forth on the outside and inside lanes. First, second. We'll have to see how long these drivers hold on before something crazy happens. And it's inevitable at super speedways. Everyone knows the big one. It happens. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when.
That's right. And we've already seen a couple incidents this evening, but then we take it all the way back to lap 9 when our last incident was, and we've only had one caution due to an accident. Our second caution was the stage break. So overall, pretty darn clean racing, I'd say, 54 laps in.
Yeah, I have to agree. And now it's excited to have them all back up in a group here. The unfortunate accident that didn't bring out a caution, unfortunately, had everyone spread out for the first 35 laps. So now that everybody back together, all the action right here for you.
The only guys that doesn't benefit, the 81 of Hall, the 39 of Cat, the 92 of Burton, 31 of Hickox, and the 80 or 60 of Shane King and Derek De Silva, of course. They would have all liked to have that stage break, followed by another very quick caution, I have to assume.
Yeah, and here we see who started us off here coming to green for after the stage. Joe Irwin back in 12th. I'm gonna go a lap down here shortly. The leader's right there as he goes high. Gonna let them all have the preferred line there. Let them race on by.
Tough break for the 44 of Joe Irwin. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened there at the restart, but he is getting steamrolled right now, and he'll obviously catch the tail end of this field one lap down.
So, speaking of laps down, the two cars leading that inside line, lap down, that hasn't changed yet. They're out there probably just wishing they weren't a lap down right now.
Oh, as we see trouble, the 81 sideways, and it is on the track, and the caution is out. We saw it live.
That is crazy. Talk about it, and it'll happen. Some people relieved for that, I'm sure. No one involved, but relieved. Let's see exactly what happened here. Oh, looks like 41 was coming back into line there. Didn't quite have the momentum. Kind of got in front of the 39. Not much he could do. Gives him a little tap, and round he goes. The 60 making contact with the 81 as well. Take a look at that again here. See, the 41 goes up to that third lane. I always talk about it. That's a risky move to do, to dip out to that third lane and expect your spot back right away. It's risky. Things like that can happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it goes. He just tried to bounce back in line, and the 39
just the littlest
tap. And the 81. So fortunate for Chase Greer and Travis Bennett, who we had mentioned a couple times were leading the field and had got back their lap the old-fashioned way. They'll now remain on the lead lap. Derek Catt, unfortunately, who would have been the lucky dog recipient there, I have to believe will not get it, but he's going to elect not to pit. Smart move, I think, here by the 39 of Cat, Drafty.
Yeah, if he can go a little bit longer, and especially if another caution comes out, that's going to be golden. It gives him a chance here to potentially get a lap back here, get back on the lead lap, and hope to stay there. As we see the 44, Joe Irwin, looks like he got the lucky dog going around the pace car.
44 of Irwin right back in to the mix, so that's good to see. He led a lot of those early laps and ended up winning the stage, and had an unknown issue right on the restart that eventually led to him going a lap down just moments before that caution was brought out.
Yeah, he's got to be loving that. I'm, like I said, not sure what happened that put him in the situation that he's in currently, but he'll be happy to get a lap back, and be competitive.
Right, and several people electing to stay out as well, as now we see Irwin make his way down pit road. Burton also stayed out, got back on the lead lap for the time being. And Josh Hall now will be the only car scored a lap down at the moment. Derek De Silva, Shane King, both 2 laps down. hoping for some luck to go their way here, as we just saw the 60 wrapped up in yet another incident. Bad luck follows that guy.
That's unfortunate, just it happened in front of him, couldn't slow up in time, made a little contact. And this is, you're going so fast, can't stop on a dime, and some stuff like that just happens.
That's right, it certainly does. Let's get a word here with the 40 of Chase Greer while we have a moment. Chase, this is Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yeah, got you. How are you doing, bud?
Doing well, man. We saw some gutsy moves there. We saw you get your lap back the old-fashioned way. So you're going to go into the restart now being on the lead lap. So congrats on that. How's the car feeling, and what do you think you can give us the rest of the way?
Feels good. I mean, luckily was able to sit on pole, so I know it's a pretty fast car here. Just, yeah, I enjoyed doing that the old-fashioned way. Me and Travis both got our last back there, so it's enjoyable. I don't know, man. It's going to be crazy between fuel strategy, maybe, depending on fuel here, and going full out. I guess we'll have to see how it turns out.
Yeah, we got plenty of racing left, but well done getting your lap back that way. And I'm sure a couple people behind you weren't too upset to see that either, because then that put him in a spot to potentially be a lucky dog. So good luck the rest of the way, Mr. Greer, and the Blue Label 40 machine.
Thank you. Hope you guys have a good night.
Yeah, you as well. Once again, folks, that was the 40 of Chase Greer, who we just saw get his lap back old-fashioned style. And now, some of those guys just made their way off pit road. We actually saw it while we were talking to Greer, so everyone going to be caught up on pit cycles, Drafty.
Yeah, the lone pitter here, 39 of Derek Cat, coming into pit by himself. I assume he did that to be able to try and stay on the lead lap.
Mr. Cat is fuel only and on his way out now, as the lights on the iRacing.com pace car are off. And you're not new to this, folks. You already know what that means.
That means the pace car wins, right? Pace car dipping down into pit lane. That means we hop up with our man, the one, the only, Barney. Barney's having a good night. He was excited for that green flag run. He said that was a lot of action. It's good to see a lot of these cars back on the lead lap. So we see him now coming to the restart zone. And away we go. Green flag is in the air once again here at Talladega. Don't look now, but Devin Butchno up to the front on the outside line, down to the inside to lead the first lap back under green here. 50.
Well, that didn't.
Sorry, go ahead.
That didn't take long, Drafty, and we've certainly seen Butchno up near the front. 65 career wins, I believe, is now Shane King in the 60. Was following Butchno, and he tries to get one of his laps back the old school way.
Exactly. He's looking. He said, "Hey, we're not done with these lap cars being up front." As Shane will now jump down to that lower line, try and hang out up there, get another lap back that way, or get his lap back that way.
I mean, honestly, probably the safest place to be, if I'm being quite honest, is leading the way. All the action is right behind you, and I'm sure he's just fine with that, being that he's found issues multiple times already this evening.
Yes, sir. I'm sure he's probably hoping for at least one caution or maybe two behind him to get back on the lead lap.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Right now, he finds himself in the Hornet's nest as Jay Stinson, up 16 spots, is your leader currently, with Chase Greer, who he just saw get his lap back, and Sharn Hill right behind him.
Yes, sir. Devin Butchino falling back to 8th place now, back down on that inside line. Choosing to just ride it out, looking to strike a little later. Fuentes, we got a little 3-wide action going on back in the mid-pack here. They were able to settle that, very nicely done. Involving the 29 of Matthew Fritz. It's going to be in that 6th position. He's having a good race right now, up 12 positions from his starting position.
Certainly is. Joe Irwin, Jay Stinson, Matthew Fritz, all having really, really strong runs right now. We'll see how that shakes out near the end. We're at 25 to go here.
Yes, sir. It's starting to wind down now. We might start seeing some more aggressive moves out of these drivers as every position counts, and from these lap cars looking to optimize on hopefully, a late race caution, getting back in on the lead lap and potentially driving to the front of the field. You see
now Derek Catt, unfortunately, with that late decision to pit under caution, didn't catch the tail end of the field. Going to drop to 2 laps down now as opposed to just 1. And Joe Irwin back to the lead, Drafty.
Yeah, look at that. Back up to the lead. This guy, he's a strong driver. In every race, I feel like a few drivers are always up front. This guy's one of them. He always makes his way up to the front at some point in the race. Very solid driver.
He's having a heck of one right now. Michael Lepicki is right behind him. We finally cleared out any of the lap car craziness trying to get their lap back the old school way. The lucky dog recipient at the moment would be the 81 of Josh Hall. Only car 1 lap down.
So we see that outside line, not very strong. It looks like maybe the 2 of Stinson looking to the outside. Thinks better of it, drops back in. Or sorry, that wasn't the 2 of Stinson. It was the 31.
Several cars that look alike here with the kind of turquoise/blue and the black paint scheme. And 2 of them happen to be front to back right now. And that's Stinson and Lepicki as Lepicki blinks.
No, it's Hickox. It's Joey Hickox in the
Hickox.
31.
Oh, we do have lap cars up here.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. All sorts of craziness shaking out here.
We see the 24 running way high in that corner. Oh, yeah. 31 having some connection issues. Keeps blinking. Hopefully that doesn't cause too much of an issue for the guys on the inside lane there. Might be why they're not doing as well.
That certainly could be the case, and I guarantee if that does cause some sort of incident, they're not going to be happy with the fact that he's already 2 laps down, and now add to that, and he's blinking.
As we got 3 wide for the lead right now. Coming to the line, the 46. Oh, oh my gosh, who was it that got pushed off? That was unfortunate. Oh, no.
Trying to get a read of who that was and not able to at the moment to see who got pushed into the infield there.
Must have been able to keep it going. I don't see any off tracks or anyone coming to pit currently. I wonder if that car just blinked and we saw something. Yeah, a glitch or something.
Potentially. Who knows? goes. I'm not quite sure. Joe Irwin, Sharn Hill now to the front of the outside lane. We talked to him in our pre-race show. He goes to the lead.
I like to see that. He was my pick to win this one. The 41 of Charles Chucky Balance right behind him now. He's running good too, up 9 positions from where he started. Shane King and Derek Catt both up here trying to get some laps back. They make a killer run on the outside, passing everybody.
That's for sure. They also took the 01 with them.
Oh, I missed that completely. My gosh, I am blind. The 01 of Travis Bennett now up to the lead. A little bit of a gap running with these lap down cars. The 60 of Shane King and the 39 of Derek Catt. Realty Motorsports drivers trying to get their laps back here. Helping out the current leader. Keep a little bit of gap on the pack behind him.
That's right. And right now, Drafty, both of these guys praying that a caution would come out right now. They're going to get absolutely blown away by these guys behind them. If they get straight in line and the 31 will stop blinking, they'll get surrounded quick.
Oh, yeah. They are already getting caught up to by the main guys here. 5 of Sharn Hill right on the tail of the 01 of Travis Bennett.
Travis Bennett, not that long ago, was a lap down himself, and he got it back old-fashioned style. Now he leads the race on the 5 of Sharn Hill and the 40 of Chase Greer.
We got 19 laps to go. It is getting down to the end here, folks. About to see some crazy racing. Outside line not doing too much. As we see the 01 now looking to get past these lap cars. So we have another lap car. I believe that's the 90. Yeah, the 92 of Travis Burton there. Going a lap down.
They all safely maneuver them. And Drafty, that might have been the car that we saw get booted into the infield since he just went a lap down. I did see him pit on lap 68. That might have been him.
Fair assumption. Inside line is cruising right now, led by 2 cars, currently a lap down. As long as the leaders don't pass them, then they're 2 laps down again.
They got to be hoping that something happens right now to be able to stay 1 lap down. 18 laps to go, folks. Anything could happen still. Sharn Hill, Travis Bennett, your race leaders there as we take a look at them on your screen. Drafty, that outside lane is going to need the 31 to stop blinking if they want to do anything consistently.
Yeah, I do have to agree as we see the 01 now kind of dipping back down underneath. 31's going to follow right behind. Oh, I see the 60 down below the yellow line there for a second. Oh, unfortunately, that breaks up the 2 teammates there. Derek Catt forced up 3 wide now. So they're looking to possibly go 4 wide. Oh, that was close.
Sharn Hill right up the middle. Just like others went up the middle, the 01 of Bennett specifically when the 60 and 39 got split apart. Now the 60 will go to the bottom. Sharn Hill still trying to make it work on the outside lane.
Yeah, some crazy stirrups here involving some lap car traffic. 31 included with that as he is blinking back into existence there. But, yeah, now he's looking to get his lap back the old-fashioned way. Sharn Hill says, I think I want to get around this guy who's blinking. And he does, leading that outside lane. Killer momentum. Gets down in front of the, what a move. Jumps to the outside of the 31. Gets back down. What a move.
Now, that has to be probably the best thing for the 5 of Sharn Hill right now. I know that outside lane appears to have a ton of momentum. Now they have the 31 in front of them. But being behind a blinker, not a good situation on a super speedway by any means.
Yeah, I see him blinking in and out of existence. That does disrupt the airflow on the cars behind him. Whoa. Not to mention, it's hard to judge when you're racing. Where that guy's going to be. You don't want to give him a bad bump and cause a wreck. It's just unfortunate.
The two of Jay Stinson now leading the outside lane, and the 5 will attempt to get by the blinking 31 once again as the outside lane cruises on.
Inside line hasn't been very strong, and I do have to think it's because of that car blinking there. It's unfortunate. It's been pretty consistent, too. Sometimes they got a guy that'll blink once in a while, but...
14 laps to go here at Talladega as we're now getting down to the nitty-gritty. Basically, everybody pit on lap 57 or 58, which would make that fuel window pretty darn close. We will have to see what happens. Is now the 29, 3 wide up the middle with the 39 of Derek Catt.
Right behind that pushes the 5 of Sharon Hill out. He's dropping back, and it looks like he's going to tuck in that 6th position. Now Derek Catt, lap car, leading that outside lane. Both lanes being led by, well, never mind, as he dips down to the inside. The lap car is definitely playing a factor into the lead of this race quite a bit.
100% they are back and forth. I can't blame them all for trying to fight because you never know what's going to happen at a super speedway, and in the blink of an eye you could find yourself from 2 laps down to on the lead lap. You never know. The 31 out front still continues to blink, but he's holding his line. That's Joey Hickox.
And the 01 seems to be handling it quite well. Getting close, but not too close. And it seems to be working for him. 29, Matthew Fritz, though, he's looking to get around him here, as we're getting down to the wire, folks. About to go 12 laps to go. This one is almost over. Who's going to be written in the history book as the winner of this race? I mean, I feel like it's still so up in the air right now.
I'll tell you what, it'd be really cool to see someone that hasn't won this season get in victory lane here at Talladega to lock themselves into the playoffs. The 5 of Sharon Hill attempts to be that man as he's rolling on the outside.
And they're trying to make a strong run to get out to the front. Hasn't quite been able to do it yet, but as I say that, they get a nice run. Will it be enough to get past? The 31, though, looks like no. Enough to be in the lead, though, going across the line.
They're holding their ground for sure as we get closer and closer to the finish of this thing. Drafty, the 01 of Bennett is going to have to make a decision here at some point of how he's going to maneuver around the 31 if he wants to win this thing.
Yeah, it starts getting down to the wire. You don't want to be behind a car trying to get the win from somebody who's being pushed. It's just not. Maybe he can use that, shoot the gap 3 wide, and use the momentum pulling off that car in front of him, as long as he doesn't blink at the wrong time. But as we see now, this outside line seems to be trucking on quite well.
Sharon Hill electing to stay outside for the time being with potentially a teammate or 2 right behind him, but also with that ever-looming issue of the 31 blinking. Now, the 31, he's doing just fine. He's driving his line. They're staying together. No problems caused. But I promise you, folks, the blinking is a concern for all of these drivers right now.
As we see that outside line just pulling away on the inside line, The old ones got to be thinking, let us go by, let us go up and get our race here. I know that's what I'd be thinking.
100%. They're now 4, almost 5 cars in the turns. Single file above that front line now. So now we see 3 wide with the 24 up the middle.
Yeah, we are under 10 laps to go. Everyone's going to be, this is it. It is time to go. You leave nothing. You leave it all on the track here and now.
That's the 46 of Michael Lepicki that went along with the 24, as now he drops down to the bottom line. He says, I want that first place spot, sir.
Yeah, but now that does bring up the issue of having that guy blinking behind you.
Certainly does, as we see it once again. Sharn Hill, unfortunate there for him. He was cycled all the way back to the tail end of the outside line, fighting to get back in the draft now.
So now you see 2 cars able to get in front of that blinking car. Oh, we got another guy blinking now up front. Hopefully that was just a fluke, the 41 of Charles Chucky Balance.
Drafty breaking news, just heard over race chat that somebody delivered the info that they're at 7.2 gallons of fuel remaining. That's not going to be enough if they keep up at this pace.
Oh my goodness, how is that going to play out? You know, you mentioned it earlier about pit stops. We got 8 laps to go. Who saved enough fuel? Maybe some of these guys at the back. Maybe Sharn Hill is going to hang out at the back and win this on fuel mileage alone.
I have to believe that these guys that have been pushing back and forth up front, leading lines, are in a really, really scary, tense situation right now as far as the fuel game goes. Some of these other guys been rolling in the middle this last run, probably in a lot better situation.
Yeah, we'll have to see. 7 laps to go. Who's got enough to make it to the end? Is anyone going to run out of fuel? This is exciting. We got a blinker in the mix. My gosh, just throw everything at this finish.
That's right. Michael Lepicki, Garrett Walden, Joe Irwin, all pitted on lap 57. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make, but the 40 of Chase Greer pit 1 lap later on lap 58.
Well, if some people have 7.5, and those were the guys that pitted on 57, then the guys that pitted on 58 have enough.
Hard to tell. We're going to have to see how this plays out. I'm not 100% sure who that was delivering that information. Several other drivers did queue up on race comms to say that they were in a very similar situation.
So we see the 31 now got down out of the way, let these drivers go by and race. Lepicki now trying to go some blocks here, trying to keep the lead. We cross the line. We're going to be 5 laps to go.
We do see a third line forming up near the top. That is Bunchino and D. Wright on the outside. They had their momentum killed briefly by Wright hitting the wall, but they're cooking now on the third lane outside.
We got them 3 wide here, 5 to go. Coming to the back stretch. D. Wright, killer run up into that third lane, all the way up to the front. Will they elect to stay up there or try to drop down?
It's been a long time, draftees, since we've said D. Wright's name or Bunchino's name. They started this race 3rd and 4th, and finally now, with 4 to go this time around, they find themselves back at the front once again.
D. Wright, killer move from that third lane, dropping all the way down to the first, that bottom lane there. Just killing it now. It seems like the middle lane and outside lane both have lost a little bit of momentum. So we got these cars a little bit spread apart. We'll see how that plays in. Still a few laps to go yet. The 40, watch out on that outside lane, getting a killer run.
All of his help nearly leaves him, but Devin Bunchino benefited the most here as he was about hung out to dry as those 3 cars dropped right in front of him, led by that 40 Blue Label machine who just dropped to the bottom side.
That's why we've had, 3 or 4 lead changes in just 1 lap here, as we're coming to 3 laps to go. The 29 of Matthew Fritz is going to lead that one with Jay Stinson pushing him. Oh my goodness.
Matthew Fritz knows exactly where he wants to be when it comes down to the final lap and the final turn. He had a big enough opportunity to drop to the bottom. He elected to stay to the outside.
Yep, they're running here side by side, coming into 3. We got the 84 and the 40 working closely on the inside, and the 2 and the 29 on the outside. Both have about a car gap to the nearest car behind those two. We'll see how this groups up as they're coming back to the start-finish line to be about to be 2 to go. Oh, I see Joey Hickok's coming into pit. Must not have had enough fuel. We might see a lot of cars dipping off now to pit if they don't have enough fuel. Oh, some squirreliness down there on the inside line.
We'll see how it plays out, Drafty. It's still anybody's race all the way back to the 14th place
Oh,
position.
no.
We have a caution on the speedway.
Oh, no. That looked like the 01 with, oh, my gosh, right at the end there. Unfortunate. Let's see here. Of course, it is not appearing on my thing, so we have to rewind the old-fashioned way, see what happened. All right. Right, looking at the 01 here. On the outside lane. Oh, looks like the 46 got underneath them a little bit. Turns them. No one else collected, just the 01 of Travis Bennett. That is very unfortunate. He was having a great race too. Damage on that vehicle. Wow, well, this shakes things up. We are going to have ourselves a green-white checkered.
Certainly does, Drafty. A lot of interesting moves to be seen now. I have to believe those guys before that were just safe on fuel are now also going to have to pit with this extended overtime race.
Yeah, anyone that maybe had just enough did not want to see that. I mean, we were about to come to the white flag there. It was, man, that race was almost over. That is crazy. It just shows you how anything can happen here at these super speedways. It is unpredictable, wild, and like I always say, you got to have a little bit of lady luck on your side.
You certainly do, and the person feeling that the most right now is probably the 92 of Travis Burton, who was a lap down and is going to get the lucky dog here. I would assume is now your whole entire field electing to pit so far.
It looks like maybe we have one car staying out that looks like the 92 of Travis Burton. And he's probably doing that to not lose his lucky dog.
I'd assume Burton also does have plenty of fuel because he pit on lap 68. So assuming he got fuel at that time, he doesn't have to pit here.
So we see him all coming off a pit road now. It looks like D. Wright might have had a bad pit stop. His car was kind of at a weird angle there. Let's look at his time. Yeah, he had a 47-second pit lap time. Everyone else was about 35 seconds. So, little issue in the pit stall there, unfortunately. I tell you, these fans, you look at them, they're all on their feet, excited to go. A green-white checkered here at Talladega for the Hunterdon Anesthesia and Associates 88.
Seems like every super speedway race we do, Drafty, ends up coming down to a green-white checkered. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of enjoy it. Bunches everyone up and gives every single person that's on the lead lap at least a chance to win the thing.
Oh, yeah. And you're going to see a lot of aggression here on this restart. I can see it now. You know, you're all bunched up. It's your best opportunity to get up to the front. I highly expect to see some 3-wide racing.
100%. For those of you watching at home, a green, white, checkered is basically the NASCAR version of overtime. So the first time they cross the stripe when they go green will be the green flag. The second time will be the white flag. And the third time will be the checkered flag. Now, if there's another incident before they take the white flag for the final lap, they could do all of this over again. If they get to the line and the white flag is thrown before the caution comes out, the race is official. Nothing that happens after that, as far as wrecks or incidents or issues, whatever you want to call it, none of that matters. The race will then finish under green. That is what we want to get to, and we hope to bring it to you here shortly.
The lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car, which means the next time by, we will go green.
Drafty, your pick of Sharn Hill going to have to make some moves here pretty quick. He's going to restart this one 13th. It would appear Travis Burton will restart your last car on the lead lap in 15th. Lucky break for Burton. Have a chance to pull off a miracle here late.
Yeah, anything could happen. Like you said, they could wreck. The front of the field could wreck, and these guys mid-pack could be, if we have to go through this again, could then be the leaders. We don't know. I love this stuff, man. Super speedway racing, the chance and all of it. It's so much fun.
Certainly is. This is one of the reasons we do it for. Love calling races like this, and we hope we get to witness an instant classic here in just moments as Drafty gets us ready to go back to green, hopefully for the final time this evening.
So we're just waiting on here, the iRacing.com pace car to dip down into pit lane. And there it goes. As it makes its slow descent into pit lane, we will hop up with Barney. One of these days I'll have to ask what Barney's last name is. I've only ever known him as Barney, but he's a great dude, hardest worker here at Royalty Racing Network. He takes care of all the flag waving for us. As we see the field now coming to the Geico restart zone. We are green flag racing, 3 laps to go. We will keep it right with the action as Butchino gets a great push from the 40 all the way up to the front right away. Electing to stay up there.
The 68 of Butchino, last week's winner. He's trying to go back to back, but a lot of movers and shakers behind him are looking to challenge for the victory this evening.
There's Butchino and the 40 getting a little bit of a gap on the cars behind them. They might want to mind that. You don't want too big of a gap. Oh, almost thought Mueller was going to that outside lane for a minute. Decides to tuck back in. Inside lane is just going nowhere. The 01 dips down to lead the inside lane there. He's looking to get back up to the front. As he's
We did have an incident, but the race does go white flag. Last lap this time.
Here we go. Butchino up front. A lot of potential new winners here. Or will Butchino go back-to-back and win again?
He certainly could. He's in a good spot. He's keeping it on the outside lane for a reason. Here is Chase Greer right behind him. Joe Irwin leads the bottom line as they go into 3.
Here we go, folks. Into 3, into 4. This is going to be the last time. Who's going to get it? Butchino out front by a good amount. We'll have to see if anyone can catch him here. He goes the block
to the bottom side. Nobody's going to have an opportunity.
Oh, he gets spun. Oh, who was it? Did he get it? Oh my gosh, that was close. Oh my gosh, we have to go get a better look at that one, folks. That was crazy. I always wanted to try out this camera. Let's see it. Oh, that was way too fast. What am I doing? Definitely Butchino. That was super close. Holy moly. What a finish.
Is shattering hopes and dreams out here as a track that basically everyone probably came in feeling like they could win the thing. He steals it from him and goes back to back, folks. He's already locked in to the playoffs, but a good finish there down the stretch in the green-white checkered. As we take a look at the 68 of Butchino, let's also go through your results of the race. Of course, Devin Butchino got the win. Joe Irwin brings home second. Josh Mueller third. Travis Bennett fourth. Chase Greer fifth. Drafty.
Yeah, Matthew Fritz having a good night, finishing sixth position. Ryan Gomez in the 55 coming in seventh. Garrett Walden in the 24 coming in eighth. D. Wright coming in ninth, driving the 84. Sharn Hill in the number 5 coming in 10th. Devin Zimmerman in the 36 coming in 11th. Travis Burton in the 92 finishing 12th. 13th will be Michael Lepicki in that 46. 14th will be Jay Stinson in the number 2. And rounding out your top 15 in the 81 will be Josh Hall.
Chucky Balance had a rough evening. He finishes 16th. Derek Catt finishes 17th. Joey Hickox 18th. Shane King finishes in 19th. Derek De Silva rounds out your field, finishing 20th. We're going to have interviews with the top 3 here, and we're going to start with the 26 of Josh Mueller, who really needed a strong one here coming into tonight, 18th, and talked to him in the pre-race show, so I'm sure he's happy for the third place. Let's get him in here. Josh, is Joshua up in the booth? You got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here with you guys again.
Well, sir, it's a pleasure to be talking to you twice this evening. I called it in the pre-race show, said hopefully we'd be talking to you after, and you brought home third tonight. What was going through your mind down that final stretch and putting yourself in a position to try to go win it?
Man, like we talked earlier, a lot of luck. Lost that fast repair early on in the race. We were just biding time. And on that restart, the outside line, somehow all 4 of us got cleared, and it was a 2-2 push towards the end. Like I said, a lot of luck.
Well, I mean, at super speedways, luck is not the worst thing to have. You definitely needed a good run. We talked about it earlier. And you stayed clean after that first incident. I mean, strange situation early, but going down the stretch, what was the fuel situation? If you can walk us through that, what were you thinking there?
Yeah, we talked about that pre-race as well. It always turns into a fuel situation. I know a lot of the guys were getting real close, maybe +1, +2. I think I was sitting at +4, +5. So if we wanted to go make a move, I was able to have enough for that one.
Right on, man. Well, you put on a good show. I know we talked about it in the pre-race interview, but anyone you'd like to shout or thank or thank this evening before we let you go enjoy this one?
Yeah, the race sponsor, like we talked earlier again, Hunterdon. They're fantastic people. My tank teammates, awesome guys to be around. They make this a lot of fun. The sponsors on my car are my weekly sponsors for my race car. So we got CR Fox, Electrical Contractors, Accurate Fire Protection, Dream Homes, Wisconsin, and again, Hunterdon. Those guys are awesome over there.
Right on, man. Well, good run tonight. Fun watching you, and we'll see you back out here next week, sir.
Sounds great. Thanks for all you guys do.
Of course. Thank you. Once again, folks, that was your third place finisher, the 26 of Josh Mueller. definitely needed that kind of run tonight. Once again, came into this race sitting 18th in 3 starts in the championship points. So that will do him well. Now, on to your second place finisher, and that's the 44 of Joe Irwin. Joe, this is Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir.
Joe, another good run. This is becoming a pretty common thing, talking to you in the post-race show. I'm sure you're not too upset about that. Walk us through what was going through your mind coming down the stretch to potentially recover from issues early and get a win in this thing.
Yeah, second place being a common thing. That's frustrating, man. I'd love to put this thing in victory lane just one time, but it was Devin last week too. Now that you mentioned that, but
certainly
anyway, it was. So we've saved some fuel, won the stage. That was just luck. I'm not the best fuel saver, but we kind of got lucky there. And when the second stage started, I'm like, oh, it's kind of long. I'm gonna drop to the back of the pack because these guys might wreck. I just want to go to the back of the pack. So I tried to go to the back of the pack and tag on the back and just kind of ride around for a little while. Well, I did not execute that plan very well and lost the whole pack. But again, luck was on my side there. I ended up getting lapped, but that caution actually came out like half a lap after I got lapped, so we avoided that one. And yeah, we were the first car lap down, got a lucky dog, and then from there, we were racing, man. And yeah, it's one of those things, man. You just got to be there at the end, be patient, and just try to be there at the end. And I think I was out front just a tad bit too early. I would have liked to have been maybe third or fourth when I was running first, but it worked out, man. We'll take second. Same thing I said last week. We'll take the points. We'll move on. We've been fast pretty much everywhere, so hopefully the cards will fall right one time, and we'll put this thing in victory lane.
I mean, you're definitely doing everything you have to do that. We were talking about that on the broadcast as far as what might have happened to you there right after the stage break, and then saw you get lapped just moments before the caution came out and really saved your race. And but talk to us in that final 2 laps rather, in the green white checkered. We saw that the bottom lane wasn't really going anywhere. It was a struggle to gain any momentum. Butchino kept it in the middle lane and he was staying out in front. Was that an issue with maybe damage or just not enough momentum down there based off the guys pushing behind?
So not enough momentum, and on my part, I can't speak for the guys around me. I don't have like a team radio, so I don't have guys in my ear while I'm racing. But on my part, it was because I was running out of gas. So I would say, I think there was another guy cue his radio up and said he did run out of gas when that caution came out. So I think people were running, maybe 80-90% throttle, just trying to not run out of gas. And that's what I was doing. I was running second in the bottom lane, not second place, but second in line. And I couldn't push because I couldn't put it to the floor, because every time I put it to the floor, I'm just watching my gas go down. And I'll be honest with you, I probably wasn't going to make it. If that green white checker didn't come out, I probably wasn't making it to the end. So that's another, I don't know, man. Maybe I should buy a lottery ticket for the first time ever, because I just kept getting lucky. Like I said, I wish we could put this thing in victory lane, but yeah, man, we got a handful of lucky breaks tonight.
Yeah, well, that's what you need at super speedways sometimes, but keep doing what you're doing, man. You've been putting it in a good position to potentially take the win. You got to tell Butchino to let you take one there. He ruined the hopes and dreams tonight of at least 17 others trying to get locked into the playoffs, but heck of a race car driver there. Anyone you'd like to thank or shout out before we let you go enjoy this one?
Yeah, I have my nephew, my little brother. They like to watch the broadcast, so I'll shout them out. Keegan and Bryson, thanks for supporting. Thanks for watching. I'm not sponsored, but my car is a Tudor's Biscuit World car, so I will shout out Tudor's Biscuit World. If anybody watching is ever in the state of West Virginia, you have to go to Tudor's Biscuit World. That's all I'll say. If I try to describe it, I'll just ruin it. So you got to go there.
All right. I say we got to try to get Joe Irwin, the Tudor's Biscuit World sponsor for real, for real.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna
make
add the
that
I'm
happen.
gonna add the phone number. I'm gonna add the phone number to my bumper on here so you guys can have them call in, put in a good word for me, have the viewers call in.
There we go. We'll do that. But yeah, shout out to your nephews, nephew and niece, or two nephews?
Nephew and little brother.
Nephew and little brother. Right on,
Yep,
man.
yep.
Well, we appreciate you guys just as much as Joe does tuning into the broadcast, and we hope you enjoyed it every single week. Mr. Irwin, go enjoy this one, sir. We'll see you back out here next week.
Alrighty, thank you guys for everything you do for the series. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too. Once again, folks, that was your second place finisher, the 44 of Joe Irwin. Now, let's get for the second week in a row. Let's talk to your winner. It's the 68 of Devin Buccino. Devin, back-to-back wins, man. One at Richmond, now at a super speedway. I mean, what was going through your mind there when the green, white, checkered flag dropped to have a chance to win this one?
Yeah, I don't know. I blacked out the last 2 laps there. I'm never up front at the end of these things. I'm the type of guy that I'd rather push my teammate to the end, try and get them, because I'm just not good at these tracks. If you've ever heard Kyle Larson say how he enjoys any other discipline except for super speedways, it's kind of the same exact boat. You're just never control your own race, and that I wasn't at the end, but thanks to Chase, he was able to push me. I stayed high. I just figured if we went to the bottom and got boxed in, it was over, so would not have won this race without Chase, so I have to thank him. He stuck with me all the way out of 4, and I saw the 44 and the 26 come on the bottom, and I threw a really bad block here last season, so I made sure to get down there with enough time, and I thought Joe just turned me, but I saw it was just a, accordion thing from the 26, and then I just stayed hammered down and watched my black box to see who got it, and it was very close, but it's cool to win here. 250 something starts in this league, and I think this is maybe my second or third time here, so it's never been fine to me, but we'll take one. Okay, it may not be mutual feelings, but we got one, so I'll take it.
Well, sir, I mean, when there is eventually a SCSRA Hall of Fame, I'd assume you're going to be first ballot. That's your 66th career SCSRA win, and we've now gotten to witness 2 of them in back-to-back weeks, so congratulations there. We honestly thought that there would be more pressure from someone on the outside to try to make a move to win it. It didn't appear like the bottom line had enough momentum, and nobody jumped out there up top to try to take it 3 wide, but well-deserved win there. And before we let you go pop the champagne in victory lane for a second week in a row, anyone you'd like to shout out or thank this evening?
Yeah, I just got to thank Chase again. Like you said, he stuck with me those entire last 2 laps, and I don't think we got that challenge that you're talking about until maybe out of 4 right at the end, and that's where he disconnected. But I wouldn't have done it without Chase. He's been, a pleasure to have racing with us. He's super fast. His win is coming. He's fast everywhere we've gone. So thank you to Chase. Thank you to you guys for putting on the show. I'm excited to run the royalty colors next week at Las Vegas. Appreciate everything you guys are doing for us. I hope you're enjoying your time here. I hope we're putting on some just bangers for you. We really appreciate it. I got to thank Walt Lipicki for sponsoring tonight's race. Hunterdon Anesthesia Associates. He was sick tonight, so he couldn't be here. And then everyone that just makes this what it is, all the drivers, everyone over at Neon. Had a blast racing with those guys like always. Dev Sports Cards, New Craft, Fine Jewelry and Design, Level Up Subs. My beautiful girlfriend Carrie, my parents. Just it takes a lot to put this on, and appreciate you guys. But I can't wait to watch this one. I'm sure it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Things around lap 10 were what you would expect after green flag pit cycle on a super speedway, but got it all bunched up together after the stage and then put on a heck of a show the portion of the race after the stage. Only one caution from there, and it was the one that brought out the green, white, checkered opportunity. So yeah, we're thankful to be here, and we enjoy the racing every single week. So thanks for having us. Devin, go enjoy this one and celebrate some more.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Folks, that was your winner, the 68 Devin Buccino. Drafty, 2 weeks in a row, man. This guy absolutely cooking this season. We saw him almost get the win on the first race that we called here, which was, of course, race 2 of the season. I mean, he's just, he's unreal.
Yeah, great, solid driver. I mean, his stats speak for itself.
Yeah, they certainly do. Not much to really say there. But we got some insight on the fuel situation, what was going on the lower lane. And then Chase Greer is who Devin was referring to, of course, in the Blue Label 40 machine, pushing him there and sticking with him, helping him there. So, I mean, pretty cool, pretty good race. I think we saw a lot of separation early, but then after the stage, night and day from what we saw in the first 10 laps.
Yep. Yeah, the first part was, this unfortunate iRacing didn't throw a caution for that, but it happens. It's part of the sim, unfortunately. After they got all stacked back up, it was everything I expected and more. Just the close-knit racing, hard racing, lots of good moves, lots of action. It was an exciting one for sure.
It certainly was, and as super speedway racing tends to do, it comes down to the last lap. Please join us next week at Las Vegas on Wednesday night. We'll be back, of course, Monday night for week 7 already, Drafty. Week 7 of the Hold Your Brakes Academy League. Can you believe that?
Time flies, man. Time
It's
flies.
flying, man. This is already going to be week 6 of the SCSRA. But before we head out on the evening as we watch the 68 celebrate some more, we'd like to thank our sponsors here at Royalty Racing Network. PGHA Designs. Victory starts with a flawless finish. Contact Drafty Beef on Discord for a quote on your iRacing custom paints today, starting at just $25 per paint. SM Racing Products. Take your sim experience to the next level with custom-made button boxes, dashboards, flag lights, and more with SM Racing Products. And Drafty, we can't forget, use promo code ROYALTY at checkout to save 20% on your purchase of over $150. Woo, that's a good deal. SM-racingproducts.com. Check them out now. And finally, Majestic Promotional and Branded Apparel. Whether you run a company, a government agency, sports team, or even a virtual race team like us, turn every item into a statement with Majestic Promotional and Branded Apparel. Comment for details or send me a message on Discord. We'll get you hooked up. Drafty, next week, Las Vegas, man. What do you think we're going to see?
And Las Vegas is one of my favorite tracks, personally. I love racing at Las Vegas. It's always, to me, produces some good racing. So I think, I'm gonna go ahead and predict we'll have a new winner next week. Not that I don't think Devin can't do it, but I got the feeling that it's gonna be a new guy.
I want to see that as well, but Devin's going to be in the Royalty Racing Network car next week. Is the 68, so I don't know, might be partial, but we also have two other team drivers in the race next week that looking to have bounce back weeks next week here or at Las Vegas than they did here. But Drafty, once again, always a pleasure calling races with you. Thanks for joining me, and I'm glad I was back this week. 2 weeks off. You were flying solo. Well done, by the way.
Thank you. I'm glad to have you back, though. Makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, it's definitely different with 2. Definitely better, I think. But folks, for everyone at Royalty Racing Network and Royalty Motorsports, as well as the SCSRA series, we'd like to say thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed every moment of it like we did. Have a good rest of your Wednesday evening and a good rest of the week. We'll see you right back here on Royalty Racing Network Monday night for the Hold Your Brakes Academy series.